How's it going, YouTubers? Nightmare70 here, and I'm back with another toy review. And today, as you can see, I'm back with another Universe 2.0 figure, and it is Ratchet. Now, if you don't already know, Ratchet is a repaint of Ironhide, also from Universe 2.0. So here he is next to Ironhide. Just see how they look together. Now, this is actually Henkei Ironhide. We've seen a lot of comparisons of this Ratchet with the original Hasbro Ratchet. So I thought we'd show something a little different, seeing how the Hasbro Ratchet looks next to the Henkei Ironhide. And they look, in my opinion, they look very nice together. Definitely a good difference. So we'll definitely see more of this guy in robot mode for comparison. So here we have Ratchet, and you tell he is an SUV, tricked out to look like an ambulance, which kind of makes no sense. But still, honestly, you guys, the Universe 2.0 figures are still very nice. And this is a 25th anniversary figure, so let me get my tablet out. And he is meant to be one of the, so celebrate 25 years of Transformers, Generation 1 series. And you tell, let's say he is from the G1 series. Now, I don't know. Now, the picture of this guy where it says 25 years doesn't show that well. But this is a picture of how he looked like, how the packaging would look like. And you remember back then our figures used to be in vehicle mode. And like I said, he is a 25th anniversary figure. Okay. Hang on. See, he's from, as it says, obviously, the Generation 1 series, the beginning of the Epic, that's how you pronounce it, the Epic Orange. I think that's when the Transformers series began, back in 1984. 25 years. Now, Friday was actually 37 years since Generation 1 came on air. And if you want to read the packaging, I don't mind, but go ahead. But pause it, alright, you guys? So now's your chance to pause. Okay, that's enough. Now back to Ratchet himself. Now, like I said, this figure did come out in 2000. This repaint, I should mention, came out back in 2009 to celebrate 25 years of the TF series. And I want to say, this is a very nice repaint. I kind of prefer this version over the Henkei Ratchet. That one doesn't have at least for vehicle mode, doesn't have much red from what I saw. And red's my favorite color, so I love this one's way nicer than the Henkei version in my opinion. Sure, I guess you can also call it a bumper. It's also like this orangey red plastic. Even the back is also orangey red. The smokestacks, well, not smokestacks, but it's also unpainted, which I'm not bothered by it because red's my favorite color. He does have, if you heard that a figure fell down, that's okay. Let me just pick it up. Okay, hang on. Help you too. That's what it means. H3LPU2. Help you too. That's what his license plate reads. But the wheels are also unpainted. The rims are unpainted still, but still nice. He still has a clear plastic for the headlights and the taillights, even the windows. Same thing applies with the original Ratchet, not just the Henkei figure. See, so the front windows, the driver and passenger side windows the front ones are translucent, and the rest are painted due to transformation. So this guy is also a puzzle former, obviously. But he has been remodeled a little bit. Instead of just being a normal vehicle, he's meant to look like an ambulance, so he has the sirens. And vehicle mode, he does get a new head, which I'll show in vehicle mode when we get there. And hey guys, if anyone's wondering about the Autobot symbol, that's also a sticker I added, like from the original Ironhide. Even Henkei Ironhide has it. Because I want to see their symbols in vehicle mode too. So Ratchet has an Autobot sticker on the front of his hood. to be with this white line. And I was thinking about putting a smaller symbol here, but I don't want to mess that up. That still looks nice, so I prefer to keep it on here on the scoop, where they lifted it up a little bit. But the ambulance, the sirens itself, though, it's the same one that Prowl uses, but this time done in translucent blue with some actual paint on top. Blue sirens on the left, red sirens on the right, or driver side, passenger side on the blue sirens. It's like an actual car. Where Prowl's, it's all red with some silver, which I don't get. I might paint this up later on if I have the skill. Same thing with this one. Might just paint the middle silver, paint the side red, and this side blue. Solid, not translucent. Maybe do the same thing for Prowl, even if you can't see through that well on his figure. So for comparison, no, too early for the comparisons. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, just focus. Now here we have Ratchet, and like I said, he is meant to be an ambulance. It's pretty much just an SUV with sirens on top, tricked out to look like an ambulance. He's got the heartbeat paint job, tampographed. And if you line it up straight, remember this is a puzzle former. So I wonder how doctors can take injured patients. Do they just open the front? They lower the seats down a bit? I bet the inside would be modified if this actually did happen. Or they just open the window up. And you can see there is some junk there. You can see his head. And some robot junk. Which I never showed on my original 2.0 Ironhide. I totally forgot. But that's okay. But other than that, doesn't do much. But he can roll. Though my surface is kind of smooth. So he can't roll that. So he might not roll that well. But like on a carpet or on a rough surface, he'll roll just perfectly. Especially because these are pinned on wheels. Our Siege figures and Earthrise stuff are just pegged on wheels. And I think that's bull. That's kind of a cheap way. Hasbro's is just way too cheap. And I did see pictures of Siege, Ironhide, and Ratchet being taller in robot mode anyway for this mold. But Ratchet being a Walgreens exclusive, seen it go for over $80. That's boo. It even sold for $100. That's dumb. Man, these scalpels. So anyway. So again, the Autobot symbol is this is a sticker I added myself. So not much to say about this figure since it's just a repaint. Just done in all white with a little red. So again, now for comparisons, before I can transform this figure, as usual, I'll pause the transformation because these are just old figures. What's the point of showing the transformations? But I might, I'm not going to guarantee it. I might just show how to do an actual transformation video where you can transform this mold from vehicle to robot and back. Just in case. So, but again, I'm not going to guarantee it, alright? But it's still a very nice figure, you guys. For comparisons, here he is next to Ironhide. In this video, we are going to be using Henkei Ironhide. Same thing for vehicle mode, for robot mode. For Prowl, if you've seen my Ironhide video, the original one, yep, you guessed it, we'll be using Smokescreen. It's the same mode as Prowl, okay, you guys? Because I don't want to be wasting time transforming those figures. For Ironhide, I don't mind because the transformation isn't that complex. But here he is next to Prowl. Alright. And now for the movie Ratchets. Here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Ratchet, the NES Global Alliance figure. Here he is next to Studio Series Ratchet, the movie E1 version, with the paint job he had for that movie, and of course Revenge of the Fallen. So this could still count as a Revenge of the Fallen Ratchet. And I did see Takara release a more screen accurate version of this figure, which I don't know if I'm gonna get because it's a Takara figure. You might pay a little more. Yeah, these guys are very small. And here he is next to Dark of the Moon Deluxe Ratchet, which is slightly smaller, but not as small as the original, as the Studio Series Ratchet. That one's even smaller than this guy, which is, I don't think is right. That's just how they look. And final comparison, the movie Voyager Ratchet. Now, this is also Dark of the Moon Ratchet, which is just the exact same mold as the movie 1 Voyager Ratchet. So this is the repaint. So here he is next to Dark of the Moon Target exclusive Ratchet. Yes, the Voyager Dark of the Moon Ratchet was a Target exclusive back then. But it's exactly the same mold as the original movie 1 Ratchet. Exactly the same mold. I just had this one in hand. Alright. Alright, now I am going to skip the transformation, and I will transform the others I compared with. So I'll be right back, okay, you guys? Hang on. Okay, now we're back with Ratchet in robot mode. Now, articulation is obviously the same as Ironhide, so I might not explain much about this figure, but just like Ironhide, when I reviewed the actual Hasbro Ironhide, one thing that did bother me, as usual, the crotch. I know it sounds wrong, but I just wanted you guys to know. I just want you guys to know how I felt in the first place. In the pictures, it looks, oh my goodness, why would people buy that? That's definitely not an appropriate design, but if you have it in person, I guess nothing too serious. What can you do? But the figure itself, in general, it's still very nice. Very nice indeed. Articulation's obviously the same. So, his arms can do a 360. He can do it 90 degree at the elbow. His arms are on ball joints. His hands, I meant. Same thing with this. Repeat on the other one. He can move his shoulders a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned that on our review. Toe pivot because of transformation. Got waist articulation, but it looks weird. Yeah. But still, you can still get him some good poses, especially when you have him with the gun, which can also be stored in vehicle mode, as you probably saw when I showed the kibble, the bottom junk. Yeah. But one thing I do like about this figure, in the cartoon, you see that head crescent? But one thing I love, he has a new head. Articulation's exactly the same as Ironhide. It can almost do a 360 degree, but because of this piece, but you wouldn't need that much anyway. In general, he does the inside, the engineering inside. Again, same thing applies when you put the bumper up and down. It's an Automorph. And he does have an Autobot symbol this time. The inside done like it's like black or a very dark gray, but I think it's actually black. Ratchet, I meant. So he's got a new head mold, and in the cartoon, I believe his head piece was his forehead thingy was, I believe, either black. I think it was actually dark gray, but this time as a Universe 2.0 figure, it's red. And actually, that's one thing I actually love about this figure. I love red. Red's my favorite color. And he still has the same vehicle mode paint job of red and white, but this time he's got a little more red, and he's got some black this time on the hips and on the forearms to break up that white a little more. But other than that, still, man, it's still a nice figure. I'm still happy to buy this one. I don't regret buying it at all. But one thing, I don't think I mentioned this in Ironhide's video. I can't remember anymore. But I will show you what people complain about on the newer figures. The hollow bits. This is a 2008 mold. Because if you remember, Ironhide came out in 2008. This is a 25th anniversary figure, or should I say, 25th anniversary repaint. So it's exactly the same mold. So it still has the same hollow legs. See, that's what people complain. That's been a thing for Universe 2.0, you guys. It's been a thing. Even in Generation 1, it's been a thing since 1984, you guys. It's been a thing for us that have, for all G1 collectors that have the actual G1 figures from 1984. That's been a thing, you guys. Nothing new at all. So I'm not bothered by it. I'm pretty much, no matter what figure you get, even if it's a very old figure from, say, G1, the Unicron Trilogy, you're still going to have, for the most part, some hollow bits. It's been a thing, you guys. But the weapon that Ratchet has is the same as Ironhide, but this time it's done in the same red plastic they use for Ratchet himself. Ironhide was gray. The Henkei version for both Ironhide and Ratchet, excuse my hiccups. They're done in chrome, which I'll show in a little bit. I have Ironhide, Henkei Ironhide. This time it's done in all red plastic. The blade, it's still blue like the original Ironhides. Henkei Ratchet's blade would be all chrome. Oh man, well, Henkei Ratchet's gun would be chrome. The blade would be red, clear red. And I believe the gun would still be gray, or like a bluish gray, which doesn't look bad at all. You can store in you can give them either the blade, or I believe it's called a sword, which I don't understand how it's a sword. It's not big enough to be a sword. It could be more like a blade. But I like the gun more. So again, this can either be stored like that, but that looks ridiculous with the arm folded up like that. You can still store it inside with no issues on my copy anyway this time. So I think that's for every copy. Shouldn't have an issue putting that there at all without folding the arms up. But one thing that does bother me, I don't know if I mentioned this on Ironhide's video. I can't remember anymore, you guys, but the head doesn't fold up all the way. So you might have to remove these wheels in order for that to happen, because I believe they get blocked. But I'm not doing that. And if I did, it would have some hollow bits, more hollow bits, and I'm not going to do that. Even the middle, see, the middle is also hollow. But again, I'm not complaining about that. That's nothing new, you guys. It's been a thing, you guys. Even before Universe 2.0 figures came out, that's been a thing. Even before the Unicron Trilogy, some of them also have hollow bits. Alright. So it's been a thing, you guys. Nothing new at all. Now for comparisons, here he is next to Ironhide. Now this is Henkei Ironhide. And again, he does have Henkei Ratchet's gun, weapon in this case, because I bought this guy pre-owned and the owner gave me an extra gun just to have it with. And that is the Ratchet's sword. Alright, here he is next. That's with Ironhide. And again, this is for Prowl, because I don't want to transform that figure for now. I already have Smokescreen transformed, but it's exactly the same mold, you guys, so don't be complaining. And besides, this is a 25th anniversary figure too. If he'll stand. Alright. So here he is next to Smokescreen. Exactly the same mold as Prowl. I just don't want to be wasting more time transforming the mold. It's a bit complex, that's why. Here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Ratchet. Hang on, let me get him. Come on. So, next to Revenge of the Fallen Ratchet. Hang on, now, let me see if I can put the three together. So, Revenge of the Fallen Ratchet and Studio Series Ratchet. The original one from Wave 1 that was done in both movie colors for the first movie and Revenge of the Fallen. Now, these two do look like they're the same height. Or maybe the Studio Series Ratchet is a bit, from what I'm looking at, it looks to be a bit taller from the heads. So this figure was already small for a deluxe. Same thing with Hound. You've seen my review of that figure. And just to have a better look. Okay. The Dark of the Moon Deluxe Ratchet, not the Studio Series one, the original Dark of the Moon Deluxe from 2011, from the actual Dark of the Moon line. Just see how he looks. And one more comparison before we go. Now I'm gonna have to bring that this figure back a little bit because this is a tall Voyager. Here he is next to Dark of the Movie Voyager Ratchet. Now this is again the Dark of the Moon repaint. It's exactly the same mold as the movie one Voyager. Just like I said, this is the one I had in hand right now. Just so you know. Now, this was actually this Ratchet here, movie 1 / Dark of the Moon Voyager Ratchet. The mold itself was pretty tall for a deluxe. And one thing a lot of people hate about this Ratchet here, Dark of the Moon Voyager Ratchet, is that transforming him from the tabs to vehicle mode, where the E4 would be, they don't tab in as straight anymore. Probably because of mold decoration. And no, these aren't. I did not break these. These aren't on pins, so you can disconnect. They're easy to disconnect without breaking anything. And the wheel, see, it can peg in there. It's pretty much storage for if you aren't using the rack. That's what they call it. They call it a shield, but that's boo. So this does make them more accurate. So here he's next to a more accurate Voyager Ratchet, as you just saw. Alright, that's enough. Thank you. You're good to go. Medical Officer Ratchet. I'm a friend. I just hated it when Ratchet was killed in Dark Age of Extinction. That was his final movie. He was the last trio of the trio to go from the first movie. It was just really sad. But I'm still happy to have his figures. So, like I said, let's do one more 360 of Ratchet. There's the Autobot symbol. Hello. Now, not much to say since it's just a repaint. But it's a very nice repaint. I'm still happy to get him. Now, if you can get this guy for still reasonable price, he's still... I didn't pay too much for him. Only about... $24 shipped, so he's definitely not going for too much. So, but he did gain a little value since back then these figures used to be around $9 to $10. Now I've seen them sold for over $20, or probably a little over $20 plus shipping. But still, man, still very nice figure. I think it's worth it. Yeah, as long as you can get it for a reasonable price, or the Siege figure, which I know it's a little bit taller. If you did want a G1 looking Ratchet, as long as you get it for a good price, sure you can get the Earthrise or Earthrise Ratchet. In this case, Siege Ratchet, going for so much. But as long as you can get or if you just want a more classics released Ratchet like this one here, I don't think he's going for too much, so you should be okay with the price, all right? But still, very nice figure. If you can get him, pick it up. I'll be back with another toy review ASAP. But for now, take care. Till all are one. Nightmare 70 out. Thank you for watching.